I'm not going to share my screen yet, though. So.
You're doing your vocal warm-ups. Hello, everybody. We're live now.
Oh, bloody hell.
I always do it very quickly, don't I? Oh, and here we go. Here we go, son. We've got Instagram working this time. It didn't work last time. So we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, and we're on your Twitter, mate. If we don't go viral tonight, we've done something wrong.
What, is it already posted to Twitter?
It's already on, mate. We've already got people. We've got 12 on the YouTube, 3 on your Twitter.
I'm going to shut my door.
I think you should give a special shout out to your Twitter followers, Al, given that you were banned for the last 2 years and they've not heard a peep from you.
Yeah, that was one couple of months. My dog's blocking the door, so I can't close it.
And we've got some big names already. Krishna, my man, was here last week and he's here again. Welcome, buddy.
Charlie Banks.
DJ Banksy in the house. Welcome, Charlie. Good to see you, mate. For those of you on Instagram, do let us know. Unfortunately, this software doesn't let us actually share Instagram comments, but I will give you a shout out nonetheless. Mario, hello, mate.
Jordan, hello, mate.
I recognise your name, Mario. I think we spoke, didn't we? Someone in the team spoke to you earlier this week. Sylvie.
Hey, Sylvie.
And Tim. No. It's Alex and Tim's. Tim's skiing.
Is that Timmy. Called Tim?
Well, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I is next to O. But what's funny there is that so many people think you are. It's Tim and Tom.
Come on, man.
Awesome. We've also got Jordan Leon again. Welcome, brother.
Welcome, mate.
Wicked. It's so good to see so many familiar faces on a Sunday night. What better way to end your week than some double trouble? I was
just thinking, there's no better way to spend a Sunday evening, is there?
There's not. You just.
There really
what
isn't.
else are you going to do? Watch Coronation Street.
I love I love putting the heating on, just sitting in my office and just being like, yeah, this is me for a good 6 hours on a Sunday.
and you say to Nick, don't bother me. Do not even come in.
If you knock on that door, there better be a cup of tea in your hand.
Right, guys. So we're super pumped to be on with you tonight. We've got 45 minutes, and then we're going to be doing a live session with our Honest FBA members. But we thought, for this 45 minutes, we'd treat you all with some product research. Again, we know it's probably the biggest area that people struggle with, and what better way to learn than from the maestro, Alex?
Yeah. I've got a bit of a question for everyone. You can be in control of the of what happens, basically. Should I ask it now? Can you do like a poll?
I don't think we can do a poll. We can do this. We're going to be using Helium 10. So if you do want to get your 30% discount, which is just exclusive to people watching this at the moment, you can register and follow along. What did you want to put on the banner at the bottom, Al? Because I can write something.
What I want to ask everybody, right, is do you want me to do some keyword research? Do you want me to do some product research where we take the traditional route, right, of going on Helium 10, which, by the way, you can get 30% off in the description box. Do you want me to do the traditional route, or do you want me to do? Some of you may have seen I've been using a website called Trending Products. I can explain a bit more about that. I've got a YouTube video coming out this week where I dive a bit deeper into it. But I think it's really interesting, and it's a great way to do product research, and you can mix it with Helium 10 anyway. So what would you rather see? Would you rather see me just doing the traditional Helium 10 method, or do you want to go on the Trending Products route?
Yeah. And to be fair, the Trending Products method that we did last week, it showed us so many new products that we never would have thought of. So it's just another way of finding products, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got Carmana who's saying, do a little bit of both. I mean, we've only got 45 minutes, but I mean, we can try. We'll be using Helium 10 anyway, but I mean, I reckon we could possibly start off with Trending Products to kind of find an idea, couldn't we? And then go on to using Helium 10. It's actually exploding topics. Someone's just corrected me. Sorry.
Trending mix. All right.
So should we crack on with that then?
Yeah.
So we can maybe start off with the exploding topics and then dive into Helium 10 to kind of test the niche a bit more.
So for anybody that doesn't know exploding topics, essentially what this does is it aggregates a load of trend data. So it basically pulls in data from, I think, different search engines. So like Google. I don't have a coupon for it. I am trying to get one. So I emailed them today to see if that we could become an affiliate, because it is, I mean, it depends how you see it, right? I mean, if it costs you $60 a month, which I think what it is, right? If this helps you find a product where you can do $10,000 a month or more, then it's not that expensive, right? You've got to think about things in terms of like the ROI. But basically, this aggregates data, and the reason that it's really interesting for Amazon is you can find things that are starting to trend. One of the things that you need to be careful of, right, is what this is actually going to pull out is stuff that is already trending. So there's a bit of it here. You can go down to trending products. This is in the beta part of it, but this is actually going to find stuff that's already trending, right? Which isn't really the best stuff to get into. So this is what I go into this on the YouTube video that I did. I actually filmed it today, and it's going to be going out this week. So keep your eyes out peeled for that. But this is a good example of a cold plunge tub. Now, I've seen so many people talking about launching these on Amazon, right? This ship has pretty much sailed, because you can see here from this, right? Like if you were getting into this, in February of 2022, you can see it's just starting to trend. But if you get in at the top here, unless you've got something crazy different, unless you've got something radically different, then you're essentially just going to be launching the same product as everybody else. Like, you can see that there's people doing well. So you can see that 2,000 plus of these have been sold in the last month. So this is doing $300,000, and I mean that's pretty mental, isn't it? So look, I never like to speak in absolutes. I used to, and then I learned that it's not a good thing to do. So I'm not saying you never ever want to get in when something's trending like this, but I am now trying to find opportunities around here. It's a bit like crypto. Imagine this is Bitcoin just before it boomed. So what you can do is you can come to trending products down here, and I think you can filter this as well so that it will show you stuff within a certain range. So like, really, you don't want to be finding stuff maybe that's jumped up 4,000%. What you want to find is stuff that's maybe jumped up, 100%, 150%, 200%. And then you can jump on it, because like obviously stuff like paddle rackets, paddle has gone crazy over the past couple of years. But I'm going to go to like the second. Let's have a look at this one. There's a lot of skincare products and stuff like this in here. Well, you can see over the past 5 years, like this one really jumped up around here, 2022. This is the sort of products as well that's a bit sort of, a lot of beginners wouldn't really look at this, but a great tip for doing this, and this one thing that I mentioned last week on the live stream, was, you can look at this in the US market, right? So this is glycolic acid serum, right? This is a product, I mean, this has got 10,000 people that bought this in the last 30 days, right? If you look at this in the US market, this is going to be absolutely massive. But what I want to do is I want to look at this in the UK. So I'm going to take this keyword, and then I'm going to look at it in the UK. And you can also, have a look in the German market, or you can look in the Spanish market, because most of you guys watching this are going to be, beginners, and perhaps something like this in the US doesn't really make much sense. But in the UK, it might be a little bit different. So this might be a decent example. All right, this is only doing 1,100, nothing crazy. So it doesn't look like there's much of a demand in the UK. I mean, you might be happy with doing £2,000. Maybe you're happy with doing around that. I mean, with this type of product, your margin could be quite good. But yeah, what I'm doing then with trending products is I'm trying to find stuff where it's quite recently taken off, and it's not at the top of the boom. So that's one thing that you do have to be careful of. But I'm finding stuff like this, right, which I have no idea what it is. But when you look at it on Amazon, it can be quite interesting. The products that are standing out to me, which if you've been watching any of our content lately, are these replenishable products, consumable products that people, well, not necessarily consumable, but products that people use every single month, right? Because most Amazon content on YouTube and stuff, it's going to tell you to go to Alibaba and find those types of products. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, most of our products are like that. But if you really want to have some proper long-term success and build something really big, then these are the types of products that you can start looking at. But you need to start somewhere, right? So it's probably better if you're a beginner starting with something quite simple. So Krishna is saying, isn't beauty products risky? What if the product causes skin damage? So yeah, I mean, look, it with everything comes risk, right? But that's just part of your research, you know, phase, right? Whatever you look at, it doesn't matter whether it's a beauty product, whether it's something else. It could be, you know, a phone case or whatever. You're gonna have to do product testing. You're gonna have to make sure you do your I can never say the word due diligence. You're gonna have to look at all of that stuff, right? But I mean, immediately looking at this again, I'm gonna check it in the UK market, because this is pretty sort of competitive, or at least it looks it with stuff like this. But then you got stuff like this. This is, I mean, it's only in 1600. It's not doing very much. So I'm going to go over to the UK market again and just see what it's doing. Okay, I mean, look at these. This is crazy. It's 5,000 units. How much is this doing? That's crazy that these are doing. So this is the soap. It's a different keyword. All right, so I'm going to go back to exploding topics again and just see if we get anything that's, you know, not kind of in that sort of field. What I want to do is I want to see if I can actually, I want to see if there's a way that you can search for stuff where it's kind of only just started trending. Trending products, trending. Maybe you can't actually do that. So I'm just going to go to like the third page. Instead of researching products the usual way, I've decided to export Vietnam-made products to the US. Is it a big mistake? As a local, it's convenient to source, do quality check, ship. I mean, Vietnam, we've got some friends that are starting to source stuff in Vietnam. It's definitely good to look outside of the traditional routes. I mean, in general, right? If you do something a little bit different, like if everybody is doing one thing and you look for an alternative, as long as it, you know, it makes sense logically, then it can generally be a good idea to, you know, to think outside the box a little bit. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but why not? You know, why not look outside of China, look in Mexico, yeah, look in Vietnam, look in those sorts of places. So a solar CCTV camera, not too interested in that one. I mean, so this one, an EV portable charger. I mean, obviously electric vehicles are something that's not going away, right? This is going to be something that's just going to be around forever, pretty much from now on. So stuff like this is perhaps, you know, this is not just going to be a flash in the pan, right? These types of products. So you could find this as a niche, and then you could start to look into all of the other products that, you know, might come with electric vehicles, or, you know, that's a trend that's going to, you know, kind of going to be around for a while. So it shouldn't just sort of like crash and die. Synthetic diamonds. This is another interesting one that I've seen lately. So people choosing to kind of buy synthetic diamonds instead of, you know, traditional diamonds. That can just be something where there's a little bit of, you know, there's maybe some, you know, news around diamonds or something, and it causes like a shift in consumer behavior. And then stuff like this happens where you can see this only really started to trend in the past few months. So this is actually a good example of something that's quite recently started to trend. So you can see in 2022 February, about 5.9K searches. And then even as late as October in 2023, it hadn't really peaked. And then it's really only in the past sort of few months that it's really, really peaked. And now you can see that we're into obviously 2024. So I'm going to have a look at this and see. Another great thing is you can start to see all of this. So all of these different longer tail keywords down here. So like synthetic diamonds, synthetic diamond powder. It also breaks it down by channel. I'm not sure why this would be so popular on LinkedIn. but I want to search for synthetic diamonds. I want to search for that on Amazon and see what I get. And then we can take a look at that as a niche. Synthetic diamonds. All right, hang on, that's the UK market, isn't it? What would your budget be for a product you want to make only £500 to £1,000 profit a month? So if you want to make £1,000 profit a month, you're probably going to need to do, maybe £5,000 to £6,000 in revenue. To launch a product and do £5,000 to £6,000 in revenue, you can probably do that with about £3,000. 4,000 at the top end. 4,000 would be a really good budget for that. And that's why, honestly, Amazon FBA is such a good investment, right? Because it's a really good question that you asked, Jordan, because that was the amount that I wanted to make when I was brand new. And obviously we kind of smashed through that, but what I wanted to make at the beginning was €500. And, you can invest £4,000 or £5,000 and then you can build a business where you make £1,000 a month. So then from that £4,000 or £5,000 investment, you're making £12,000 a year, which is pretty crazy. Like, what other investment, what else can you invest in where you would get that sort of return?
I was the same. I only wanted to start 500 quid to 1,000, and I started with £3,000 investment. I think people get a little bit, I don't know, like overwhelmed or blinded by, what they'd actually accept when they see all YouTube videos and people going, I made 100K in a month. And they say, well, I want to make 100K in a month. And they kind of, just skip past, well, how life-changing would 500 quid to 1,000 be in terms of changing your mindset, changing your confidence at work, because you know that you've got that backup option. So yeah, it's definitely sensible to be starting off looking at that amount, and it's super realistic.
Can you highlight also how much investment would be required when you're analyzing a product? Your last product was $185, which means, yeah. So Krishna, one thing that you've got to remember, right, is just because a product is a higher price, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to cost you more money, right? Because maybe the COGS on a product is $50, but maybe you only aim to sell 5 or 6 of those products a day, right? So maybe, you think, well, compared to a $10 product, that's like 5 times as expensive. But that's if you're looking to sell the same amount of units per month, right? So with these higher ticket products, you don't need to sell as many units, right? You can sell fewer units and make up the revenue because it's a high ticket product. So it's not always the case that something is, more expensive just because it's higher ticket. Like, you sell four a day of $100 products and you're doing $400 a day. That was fast maths. So I'm going to search for this one, this moss, whatever it is. So this looks like it's some sort of stone. Let's have a look how the trend is. So the past 5 years, all right, it's kind of steadily growing, right? It's not gone crazy. It looked like maybe the end of 2021 it started going a bit crazy, but I mean, this is just throwing up rings. I'm gonna leave that one. That one doesn't look too. Demerara sugar, hormone tea. This is another one that I've seen. I mean, this sort of health and wellness stuff is like, just, if you can bring something in this space, this is something, again, that's not going away. Health and wellness is here to stay. So there's going to be so many new niches that come out of the health and wellness space. And I mean, look at this. This is, really sort of like nice, funky branding, and you can see the brand opportunity here with what they're doing, right? So this is obviously for women to take, at the time of the month. But look how nice the branding is. This is a great example of a really well done visual brand. Neil's asking, do you use insert cards? Yeah, we do. They're great for, trying to capture emails. We have QR codes on ours, so people can click on the QR code or scan it, and then go to a page where we collect their email. We do some stuff with like quizzes. So yeah,
you've just got to be super careful that you're not asking for a review in a biased way. So saying give us a 5-star or whatever, because we've seen a handful of people do that, and then Amazon says you need to remove all those units and then take out those insert cards. So if you are going to do insert cards, which we both do, they're definitely a good idea. Just make sure that what you're writing is legit and it's not going to result in you having to withdraw a ton of units, because that's painful and expensive.
Yeah. I look at this one. So this one looks like it's taken off quite recently. This is a breathing necklace. It's designed to promote calm, relieve stress and anxiety, and aid in habitual breath and practicing meditation. Now, again, this is something that is just generally a consumer trend, right? Is mindfulness, meditation, all that type of stuff. What's good about products like this is they're just super, super small. Like your cogs on stuff like this is going to be super, super low, right? So, I mean, this is doing $12,000 a month. So it's not an absolutely massive, massive niche, but it looks like it is trending in the right direction. Like for some reason in 2023, maybe people are anticipating the end of the world and they want to stay calm. They want to relax. Hang on. And that's why stuff like this is trending. But what I always do is when you find a product like this, try and understand what the niche is. What's the niche behind this? Like, what other types of products are these people buying? I don't know if like stuff like this, whether this is kind of helping people relax, but it's for these kind of hippie sort of like wellness people, right? The chain sucks, the rest is all right. So there's an interesting niche. I'm gonna see what other stuff these people sell. They're a chat. I mean, look at their business name. I'll give you an Amazon voucher if you can pronounce that. So ADHD specialist, yeah, stuff like that, yeah. So let's have a look at all these. What size do I make them? I mean, Neo, it completely depends on your product, right? Like if you're selling a barbecue, it's going to be a bit of a different size insert card than if you're selling a, I don't know, one of these products. I mean, look, this is quite cool. There's a variety of different products in here. I mean, look, this is $18.99. The cogs on this have got to be unbelievably low, I would say. Like, this is not an expensive product, and at $18.99, your Amazon fees on this are going to be super low as well. They're not that low, but like this is a product like you can ship hundreds of these in a box. Like, let's have a look. Breathing necklace for women and men. Let's just have a quick look on Alibaba at this. Now, I'm not saying this is, the perfect product to sell or anything like that, but I'm just showing you kind of the process, right, of breathing necklace. I'm just going to put. It's also a good thing when you can't really find some stuff. So, like, look, you can see the cogs on these are going to be so low, like 150 to 170. This is going to cost you, right? Your shipping is going to be dirt cheap because it's absolutely tiny. So when you see, and these are, you've got these guys selling, where was it here? $19. You can probably land those for like $2.50, and you're selling them for $18.99. I don't know what people are complaining about. Again, this is not, this is not a product where you're going to make $1 million, right? But this might be a good product for somebody to get into as a beginner product. Where it's not doing crazy numbers, but it's going to be very, very cheap and light to ship. Didn't do anything for my anxiety. It was good, but it didn't really do much for me. I got it to stop vaping. Didn't work. It's basically sucking a straw.
Just start playing like a little tune instead.
Yeah. So that's the other thing about, like, you've got to really think about when you sell these products. When you sell these products, it's got to be good, right? Or else, people are going to leave these negative reviews. But despite these negative reviews, like, it's still selling. People are still buying 600 of these, more or less. So, Bob, what's your long-term goals with FBA? Exits or living off the cash flow? So, I would like to exit our brand in the next 4 years or so, I think. It kind of changes. We've got the community. We've got Honest FBA, where it's a great cash flowing business. So for us personally, not me and Jansen, but me and Tom, we're investing money back into our Amazon brand to keep growing it even more. And I'm not really sure, because we might get it to the point where we, it's just a really nice cash flowing business, but it's nice to have the opportunity to sell it if we want. That's always been the dream, because it would be nice to have a big payday one day. And that excites me. But also if it makes sense to just keep it, then yeah, we just keep it. 3D calendar. I mean, this is obviously super seasonal, right? But that's quite an interesting niche. Tallow cream.
3D calendar, that's crazy. And surely only at this time of year as well, January, and then you stuck with a load of stock.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a look at this one, because what I really like to do lately is look at, like I said, look at the US market and then look at the UK market as well. And what I like about this one is it's only recently just started to trend. So you can see here, wasn't really taking off that much, even into January. It's only really started to trend quite recently. So I'm going to look at this again.
Just sorry, I've just realised I've been ignoring Insta. We've got a few questions. Just quickly, I can see Becky's asked a few times. If you want to build a brand, do you have to stay within one niche? You don't, but it's often a lot easier, because you kind of start off with one product, does well, and then you can kind of think, okay, what products work in like adjacent sub niches. But yeah, you can obviously go into different niches if you want, and provided the name of your brand as well makes sense. So if you're, I don't know, selling water bottles and your brand name is around water, it might look a bit weird if you then start selling, kitchenware or whatever. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah. And what you can usually see when you look on Helium 10 as well, this is one of the best bits about Helium 10, is you can see all the search volume for all of the related keywords like this, right? And look at this. This every year has just been trending up, right? So you've got 2020 bumps up to 2021, 2022, a nice bump up to 2023. So this is a niche that's really starting to trend. And one thing that I mentioned before was looking at these niches that are in the US and they're doing well, and then what they're doing in the UK, because this is capsules, right? But one of the trends within niches like this lately is turning products like this that are capsules into gummies. So if you've seen, like, this is obviously just a capsule, like that you just swallow, but a lot of these supplement type products are now getting turned into gummies. And if you can be earlier and one of the first people to do that, then I think you can do pretty well. And I mean, this one's quite well embedded with, nearly 4,000 reviews, but yeah. So that one's quite interesting. That's, recently been sort of taken off. I'm just going to have to answer my door.
Sorry, I've just realised I'm on mute. So whilst he's obviously going to get his dinner, if anyone's got any questions or anything just on what Alex is running through, what he's talking about.
I ordered some blankets for my dog. They just arrived.
I thought it was you getting your dinner this time. Is that Amazon as well?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, bloody hell. What is it? It's 8 o'clock, isn't it, in Spain?
Yeah, same day delivery, that. Look at this, a silent basketball. Why has that gone nuts lately?
That's mental.
Look at that.
So who would have ever thought of that? Is it just for people getting complaints from the neighbours? So they're just like,
silent.
I imagine it'll be a bit like a tennis ball or something. The sound it makes.
Look at this.
I mean, that's, you can't get much more saturated than that, can you? What can you really do there?
I don't know. I mean, but look at the revenue, 67,000. So many people are going to start selling these, aren't they? I mean, the good thing here is, like, it all looks exactly the same. So if you do something a bit different, then I wonder why that's just all of a sudden. That's crazy. Look at these. These are like all brand new products, basically, and they've just gone nuts. Let's have a look at TikTok, because I bet this silent basketball. for dietary supplements and vitamins like this, will you need to be ungated? And in order to get ungated, will you need to sell other types of product first with good metrics? As far as I know, I don't think you will need to, you don't need to sell anything else. No, you'll need to get permission for sure. But that's a good thing because not everyone wants to do that. Not everything converts into a gummy taste-wise. That is true. That is true because there's a difference between swallowing something and just chewing it. But look, so this is probably. So let's have a look at this dude. So this is one of these silent basketballs. So what happens is these products go viral on TikTok, and then all of those people go from TikTok and they start searching on Amazon. And you got to be careful, obviously, because you don't just want to be trying to chase these like trending things all the time, because this could be another fidget spinner, right? Like this could be something that just comes in and it just dies out. But you need to be looking at data like this. You need to be looking at search trends. You need to be using helium-10 to, see the keywords and stuff. You really need to see what people are searching for, what people are looking for. And then you can come in with a brand and a product that meets that demand and meets those needs. How would you check if your supplements are safe? Your manufacturer, wherever you get your manufacturer, wherever you get your products from, your manufacturer, they will be the ones that can help you, do all of the testing and everything else. But it depends. If they're human grade supplements, like if they're pet supplements, it's a bit more lenient. Like there's not as many regulations around it. With things, with human grade supplements, like it's very tight. But most, most big sort of supplement manufacturers, they have all of that. They have all of the stuff that you need in order to prove that you've got the that you've done your test. This is quite an interesting one. Modeling clay. So I don't know why, like
Play-Doh. It's like Play-Doh, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, this is actually on a downward trend. But I do want to take a look at it on Amazon, because that's quite an interesting niche, isn't it? I used to love playing with Play-Doh before when I was a kid. I think there's 20,000.
Another question on, is it hard to get into consumables? It's definitely harder than if you were to go into like a water bottle or yoga bottle yoga mat niche, but see that as an opportunity. Most people can't be bothered. It's definitely possible.
And as I said, like you don't have to always sell in the US market. You can sell in the UK market, and the UK market is generally a lot easier on the budgets and stuff. Like, look at this migraine cap. This is probably something else that's kind of gone a bit wild because of something on TikTok or whatever. Look at this. Is it a cooling thing?
I mean, one of them.
This is a very competitive niche. You can see nearly 11,000.
And it's
searches.
New or trending.
It looks like it's gone a bit nuts in the past. I mean, look. I mean, it's got. That's how many of these they've sold. That it's got 10,000 reviews, but it's actually only been around since like mid 2022. It's like a year and a half, and it's got that many reviews. So if you were able to kind of spot this back then, that this was jumping up, and then you were able to get in there, you might have been able to do something nice. But so Burger Smasher, this is a big one, isn't it? I've seen this. Does anyone have those? Order those like smash burgers, because this is another trend, right? Like, these tools to smash these things down. You get the big burger, don't you? And then you just go pow and you smash it.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, look at the sizes. So again, obviously, this is a niche that's trending. Very, very cheap, those, aren't they? I'd imagine it's only just a little bit of metal, though, isn't it? It's not very complex. Many of the Exploding Topics products are drop shipping products. Yep, you're probably right there. But the thing with drop shipping products is, like, what drop shippers actually do really well is they do find these things that are trading. But drop shippers, because all they do is drop ship, they never actually create like a proper brand where it's sustainable. You know, they kind of go from one thing to another. But we're not trying to find products where we can just, you know, sell them for 2 months and then move on. We're trying to find like niches that are gonna grow over time. Like you want to find a niche that you can get into. I mean, you don't have to do this, right? Like this is just one way of doing it. Like you can just come to Helium 10 and you can just pick a random category, baby products, or, you know, home and kitchen, or whatever, office products. And then you can just, you know, do whatever, right? You can just put in your whatever your searches are, and you can just come on here and you can do your research this way, right? All it comes down to really is selling a good product at a good price and understanding how to launch that product on Amazon, because so many people go wrong with the actual launch part. This is most beginners have no idea how to actually launch a product on Amazon. So they think everything is about the product itself, when so much of it is actually about the I don't know what's going on here with this, but so much of it is about the actual execution. And that's really where beginners go wrong, is on the execution. I'm not sure why all these are unavailable, but
right, we've got time for one more product, and then we're going to have to jump to the FBA live.
Yeah, guys, we got time for one more product. This one's going to be interesting with all this new stuff around what you call it, the Apple Vision, whatever it's called, right? So VR trackers, head-mounted support that tracks and detects the positioning of. So VR is going to be a big one. You know, VR is going to be around for the next few years, right? So there's going to be tons of products that come out. There's going to be, I even think there's going to be some supplements that come out into the VR space, because people get dizzy. You know, you get dizzy doing it. You need energy.
I thought you were meaning like supplements to make it more real. I was like, you mean drugs?
That's just LSD, isn't it?
That's not a bad shout, actually. You could be like, I mean, it's just going to be anti-sickness, isn't it? But you could market it towards VR. Yeah.
I mean, look at this, VR gloves. I mean, if you've got to wear gloves to do virtual reality, I don't know what to say to you. It's bad enough when I see people wearing these in the gym. Why do
you definitely wear gloves down the gym?
I hate it, man.
Tom does.
So, he's definitely one of them, isn't he?
And he wears a little vest and he goes in the mirror and he just goes like that. Looks at his abs in the mirror.
I mean, look at this VR mat. Look at this, 2024. Boom. I wonder why that's happened. Apple.
There you go, little VR brand.
Little VR brand. What are the top? Right, we'll answer this one question and then we got to shoot off to the live with the Honest FBA crew. What are the top 5 characteristic ones first FBA product should have? Demand versus competition. I mean, I can't answer that in 5 minutes, man. I'm sorry. So if you go and watch some of the live product research that I've done in the past, you're gonna see you'll get your answer to that one. But I haven't got time for that now.
I mean, the top 3 is sales demand, without a doubt, profitability, and something where you can add your own spin on it. So it's got to be something brandable, right? Not a commodity product where people don't really care if it's branded or not. They just want the cheapest. So those
it's generally better. Yeah, it's generally better if it's like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Otherwise, it just becomes a race to the bottom with price.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, you need to have that demand and obviously profitability.
Yeah. I mean, look at like stuff like this is. I mean, that's just a mat, isn't it? Look at this guy. Great workouts. This is great for workouts. So there you go. I mean, that's a niche that I would look into in the VR niche for sure, because that's going to be booming.
Right then, should we?
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap it up. We've got a session with the Honest FBA crew. If any of you guys are interested in joining Honest FBA, go to honestfba.com. Community is growing very nicely. We're doing a lot of cool things.
But yeah, otherwise we'll see you guys for the next stream, whatever that may be.
Kaimana, we did a masterclass on TikTok not too long ago. What should my first product be if I'm getting into Amazon FBA? A garlic press.
Water bottle.
Oh, dog's
there
going.
You go. It's something for the dog.
Joseph, go and watch the YouTube channel, man. We got tons of videos on product research because it's not an easy question to answer. But yeah, okay. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, thanks all, and see you guys for the next one.